Hi! So for today's video, I thought that I would do one about my parenting style and how it is now, how it is when he was born. I have about 7 years of experience of being a mother now, and technically 8 because we had Bryn when I was pregnant. So basically 8 years, if that counts. And I figured right now, like, things in my life are a little bit just not exactly normal. So the easiest way for me to finish this Veda is to do talking videos and kind of just get them done and then resume back to my normal life and regular videos that I do. So I'll just start with how I was when Jackson was born. I was over the top with routines. Like, I had lists of like, okay, so when he wakes up, this, in that order. Every night there was the bath, his nails, his ears, his this, like, I mean, all his products in like little bins. I was so particular and he couldn't miss. Like, it had to be that way every single day. And it was just like the weirdest, like, I don't even know if you'd call it OCD, but I kind of felt like that was what you did as a mother. Like, you had to care for all these things. And as a parent, I noticed you do things different than how your parents do them. Like, let's say your mom and dad never really did too much for Christmas. Like, you got a few things here and there. You spoil the crap out of your kids. Like, you kind of pick the things that you wished were different with your childhood and really do that with yours. Growing up, my mom would give us baths like once a week. And I remember, like, you know, people would always comment that like my hair was greasy or this or that. And so like with Jackson, like even now, it's not every day except like if he's really dirty, but it's like every other day. Like, I would never do, like, it was normal in our household to do once a week. And, you know, everybody's different. Like, I'm not saying if that's what you do, it's a bad thing. I'm just saying you pick out things that you wished were different and you change them. And whether you realize you're doing it or not. So yes, I was very, very over the top with routines, with, I mean, everything when he was little. And in some sense, like, I felt like I kind of had to be like my mom. Like, I knew things that she did for us, and you kind of adapt that. So Jackson has this thing now because I used to freak out if he would eat something off the ground. I would be like, oh, hell no. Like, do not put that in your mouth. And now, like, he almost thinks of it as like a game because he knows how much it affects me. That he'd be like, Mom, look, put it in his mouth and start laughing. And like, I've learned to just give up on it. Like, he knew how much it bothered me and it's almost like a game to him now. So I'm like, whatever, eat it. I don't care. There's your snack for the day. Definitely have to pick my battles now. Before, I felt like I was kind of like a controlling Nazi. Like, you wear this, you're going to wear this, you need to look like this, you need to do this, you need to, you know, have this kind of routine with his day where I expected certain things and I didn't really give him as much freedom, I guess you would say. Like, I felt like I'm the adult, I'm in charge, this is how it is. And now I definitely pick my battles. Like, it was definitely hard to do at first when he wanted to wear like mismatched clothes to school. It's like, like, you have so many cute clothes, like these outfits go together, this shirt would go better with this, but like, he wanted to wear it. And finally I'm just like, you know, like, who's it hurting? Like, really, like, maybe the teacher might think that like I have some issues with styling and dressing my kid, but like, really, does that matter? No. And so, you know, if he wants to wear certain things that I think look ridiculous, if it makes him happy and he's learning how to dress himself and express his personality, then like, you know, let it go. Like, there's bigger battles to pick. Like, if he is doing something that's going to harm himself or others, if he's being disrespectful, something that's unhealthy for him, food-wise, or too much of a certain activity, then yeah, like, I will crack down on that. But I've learned to loosen up a lot. Back when he was younger and up until really recently, I never gave myself any me time. I felt like if I was working or in school, that was like my time away from him and that everything else had to be devoted to him. Like, I would never watch TV shows I wanted to watch. If I ever watched TV, it was shows he wanted to watch with him. I never really, like bought things for myself. I've gotten a lot better about that now. It used to be like if I went to the store, it was for him. Like I would have my necessities, but anything extra, like I would spoil him. And I almost felt like that was starting to give him this sense of entitlement, like he was entitled to toys. He was entitled to things every time we went to the store. Like, I don't know. And I've changed that. I don't think that's right. And I think that like birthdays and Christmases are a good time to give your children what they want. And if you're the type that buys stuff all the time or whatever, like, cool. Like, I noticed some behaviors that I didn't like in my child when I was doing that. And honestly, like, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of them. Like, I was becoming one worn down mama, always like catering to him. And, you know, he said jump, I jump. Like, you know, your kids are important, and then they need love and attention and affection, all of that. And like, it's fun to play with kids, but they don't, like, it's important for them for you to be there for yourself as well and have that mommy time and that alone time. It's very, very, very important. And I'm glad I'm realizing this now. I used to freak out over messes. Like, okay, you can't play with that because you're gonna make a big mess. Or like, my whole thing was like, I didn't want the house a mess. And I've definitely learned to let that go. Like, for instance, yesterday, the kids on the stairs were throwing down all these pillows and blankets because they wanted to slide down and have this big pit. And normally I'd be like, no, like, pick those up, fold the blankets, like, we can't do this. And now it's like, you know what? Let them have fun. Because it really doesn't matter as long as they clean it up. Like, that's the number one thing. Like, I will not be cleaning up those messes. Like, you know, Jackson always like, oh, it's too big of a mess to clean up, Mom, I can't. It's too much. It's like, no, it was made by you. You can be cleaned up by you. So he knows that. And like, I heard him telling his little friend, Jackson, we have to clean this up. His other friend's name's Jackson too. He's like, we gotta clean this up. And like, he gets it and he knows. But I've definitely loosened up on the like, it's gonna make a big mess thing, because they're kids, they wanna play, they wanna have fun. Like, how fun is it to go around like in this like spotless house, like where you feel like you can't do anything? And I realized that. I just am like a little OCD. I don't really cater to like his food choices anymore, because if I made what he wanted for dinner every night, we'd eat like 3 things for the rest of our life. And before it was like, well, I'm not gonna go to the bother of making this big meal and then have him not eat it, you know? And so it was kind of like a hard thing, because I don't wanna make a bunch of food that's gonna go to waste, but I also didn't just like wanna feed him like cereal every night. So I kind of made it this thing where like, he really likes having bedtime snacks. And if he doesn't eat dinner, he doesn't get his bedtime snack. End of story. So like, some things he really doesn't like, but I was surprised, like some of the stuff that he ended up liking, like sloppy joes, he was so against even trying, like he thought it looked gross. Loved sloppy joes. Another thing was Navajo tacos. He was like, and I'm like, no, like the rule is you have to have a bite. If you don't like it, then you have to have at least 2 more, but you don't get a bedtime snack that night. Otherwise, eat your food and you'll be good. And like, I don't just serve that. Like, I have side dishes like pasta or corn or this or that. So it's not like, okay, this is all you get and that's it type of thing. Like, there is other side options, but I've become a lot more strict on that, because before it's like, well, I'm not gonna make him eat that. Like, he doesn't like it. I hated being forced to eat like mashed potatoes and stuff when I was little. And I do realize like there is some things that he truly doesn't like, and I just don't make those things, like, if that makes sense. But I've made him start opening his mind to the fact that there is food out there he can eat besides macaroni and cheese and cereal. I've also learned with kids, if you don't make a big deal out of something, like let's say they fall, or you know, their toy drops in the lake or this or that, if you make a big like, oh no honey, then they start crying and they feed into it and or whatever. But if you kind of like turn your head to it, or just like, oh, like, you know, kind of just don't really react and make a big deal, 99% of the time they won't either, unless they're like legitimately hurt or like really upset. But they kind of look to you like, what is she thinking about this? Because if I'm like, oh no, come here, then it's like the tears come. The last thing I would have to say is, when I used to leave the house, it was like this big like pack a bunch of crap ordeal. Like, I had like a back seat organizer just stuffed with stuff for the car. Like, you know, obviously he's out of the diaper age, but I still would bring like a bunch of crap everywhere we went, because you know, they get thirsty, they get hungry, they want a toy, they want this, like they get bored in the car, they get bored at an appointment, whatever. Now, like, I don't really go to that bother anymore. I think it's a waste. I think it makes more of a mess in my car. I don't think it's necessarily necessary to always like have all this stuff. So now it's like, grab a toy, let's go. I would love to hear how you guys have changed with your parenting style and anything that you guys have to add to this. So if you want to, you know, just comment below. And if you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, you should start. I will add my little info down below. And yeah, I'll see you for my next video. Bye.